Hello, thank you for joining me for the Pisces new moon. So this Pisces new moon, it is at 23 degrees of Pisces. It is with a fixed star, and that fixed star is called Markab. And it is in the constellation of Pegasus, the winged horse. And it represents a sense of finding stability. So on one level, this particular Pisces new moon, and every year Pisces new moon, is about finding the sacred in a way, finding that which is important, that is beyond our physical life, but has to do with our soul's intentions, our soul's life, or if you want to call it our spiritual life, that other component of life that is beyond what we have to do in order to keep a roof over our head and stability and all that stuff, and to care for our body. So this is about caring for our spirit. However, that's always there for the Pisces new moon, always about setting your intentions for things that will feed your spirit. What feeds your spirit? Is it music? Is it art? Is it meditation? Is it yoga? Is it being by water and daydreaming? What feeds your spirit? So you set your intentions for this, and we will not have another Pisces new moon for another 12 months, right? Until the next Pisces new moon next year, 2022. So that sense of just setting that out can carry through throughout the year. You don't have to get it all done within the next month. Carry through without the year. And whenever the moon will go through Pisces every month, there's it's feeding that energy again, remembering that energy once more. So that is, in essence, important. Now, however, as you know, every year, the rest of the planets are doing a different dance. So what is the dance of the cosmos now? The sun and moon are at the midpoint. And remember what a midpoint is. It's if you take how many degrees away it is from one planet, here's another planet, in the middle point of it, right? Here's the Pisces new moon. What planets are vibrating with it? Saturn in Aquarius, Uranus and Taurus, who are having, basically, if you want to call it, they are having a major discussion this year in the cosmos about, they're bumping up against each other. Saturn in Aquarius, Uranus in Taurus. There's a bump between those two energies of how are we going to shift the consciousness on the planet? And it trickles, if you want to call it, it comes down to through the realms, and how it impacts our personal life is changing. Are you in a situation where, like Taurus likes to get comfortable? Why do I need to change? Right? But the change is here. So there's change around work. There's change around many things in life, to adaptability. And that Saturn, that pressure of Saturn, pressuring that is like, okay, let's open things up to the newness. So there's a resistance. In some ways, there's a resistance between the old and the new, and where are we going to land? Now, how does that come together with a Pisces new moon? So on one hand, think of it this way: the Uranian energy and the Saturn energy. Saturn always wants to put form to something. The Pisces new moon wants us to create and honor our soul's desire, satisfying that side of our spirit. So Saturn says, what's working, what's not working, and what are you going to do about it to make it happen? And the Uranian energy says, it's time for a shift, it's time for a change. And so this opens things up, and it can be somewhat of a volcanic explosion in some way. You might have some very deep, quote unquote, psychic insights, inspiration for this change. But where is this? There's plenty of times where it's going to be on the, I would call it the material level of life. This is about honoring your spirit. What does your spirit want? And then that in itself can come down to our practical life and how we make changes in our practical life in order to honor what our spirit is calling for. Now, you may know that Venus is in Pisces. She's called in her exaltation in Pisces. She loves being in Pisces. She's very comfortable being in Pisces. There's a romantic flair with that. There's where's my fantasy love. That's very strong for Venus and Pisces. I know they must be out there somewhere. I know that whatever you love, it doesn't have to be a person. You know, you can be looking for that perfect place to live. You can be looking for your perfect four-legged companion. You could be looking for your perfect art studio, right? Whatever it is that brings you beauty and love and pleasure into your life. And in Pisces, it wants that sense of the ideal. And she's with Neptune, which only cranks it up. It's like really cranking the volume up on seeking the ideal, seeking the fantasy, seeking that which could happen, that which might happen. It's a huge infusion of creative energy in many ways, and you can call it meditative, you can call it imagination. It's very good for imagination, because what is that? You know, we go into the world of the mind and create something. So that's very strong with that. Now, what's the flip side? Is that we become disillusioned because how can this world live up to the ideal? You know, we can become disillusioned because we know if we could just put all the ingredients together, it's supposed to be like such and such. If you've ever started, you know, anything that you wanted to master, whether it's painting or a musical instrument or dance or a sport, right? And you see the masters out there who've made their life and have incredible talent doing it. Well, you pick up that instrument and the ideal is like, oh, I know what it's supposed to sound like. I know what a great tennis serve is supposed to, I see them doing this or that. And then you do it. It's like, wait a minute, it's not living up to what's in my fantasy in my mind, what it's supposed to be. And do you become deflated or do you become inspired? So this is pretty much a key essence of this Pisces new moon. It's always essential to follow, it is the moon after all, to follow the nodes of the moon. The north node, where it's pulling us to, where it wants to consume, right? The dragon's head, the mouth, take something in. The north node is in Gemini. It has reached, it's 14 degrees right now. It's just past its halfway point of the cycle. It's going to go into Taurus at the end of the year. So the north node in Gemini, what planet rules Gemini? Mercury. Okay. Mercury rules Gemini. So where's Gemini? Where's Mercury? Mercury is in Aquarius. So there's this essence of how do you get help? What is supporting creating this fantasy world, listening to what your spirit within you, your soul is speaking, and to be able to, instead of feeling blocked by Saturn or knocked in by Uranus, unexpected situations, how do you work with it so the Saturn can be the foundation of what needs to be done, and the Uranus is the opening, where you are open, like, yes, I can do this, that inspiration. So Mercury in Aquarius, so it's a very scientific place for Mercury. It's an information seeker. Just let's get some information. just start doing some research, getting some information here. Yes, we are in the Pisces world, so a lot of this will just come through your intuition. And with the long sojourn of Neptune being in Pisces and us being in Pisces land right now with Venus, Sun, and Moon in Pisces, it is about developing your intuition. But the Mercury in Aquarius, that, okay, we work on the world. Let's see what knowledge is out there. But the intuition will guide you to which link to click on, which book to get, which this to do. Your intuition will guide you to the knowledge in order to incorporate the desires that you have for your soul, your spirit, to feed your spirit, to put that into place. So thank you very much for joining me, and have a blessed, happy new moon. And the new moon is on the 13th of March, 5:22 a.m. and Eastern Standard Time. So you have to redo that for your time soon. But if you want the exact time, that is when it is. Thank you for joining me. My name is Donna Page, and my website is Loving Light Astrologer.